Well, hello, everyone. How are y'all? So, I'm doing this live tonight and everything because the next couple of days I'm gonna be working like crazy, and I won't be able to do another live stream or anything this week probably because I don't even think I'm gonna have any off days. What's up, spooky brother? What's up, Nicole sis? Long time no see. How you been? What's up, spooky? Hey, Flock sis. What's up, Paul? Good to see you too, spookster. Yeah, so this is probably going to be the last live for this week because I'm going to be dead throughout the rest of the week. I've been hiding in the darkness, Vale. Fluffy, what's up, brother? Tell Jenny that I'm sorry I couldn't get on the. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened with the chat. I couldn't see it. It went completely blank. Sneaky, what's up, sis? Yeah, my chat works on StreamYard. Yes. Okay, awesome. As long as y'all, I couldn't see anything. It was just a complete blank. It wouldn't even pop up when I typed. So I don't know. So here's the thing. All right. So you know, I since everybody's here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do my opening and all that stuff. All right. So 5, a 4, a 3, 2, 1. Anyways, welcome everybody. How you doing, country boy? How you doing, Carl? Hey, sneaky sis. All right. So, y'all know me. I'm not very much prepared or anything, but I made some stuff. I made some notes and everything. Aren't y'all proud of your boy so he doesn't run around like a lobotomized squirrel? You know? Thank you, Nicole sis. So, shit hit the fan, or SHTF. What is it? What is it truly? All right. Shit hit the fan is a acronym that refers to a situation that goes from being bad to worse. All right. Or in other hands, catastrophic scenarios, right? So shit hit the fan situation is the event that leads to a local, global crisis, um, a catastrophic event, you know, etc., etc. Things that is, yep, SHTF was founded after the 1920s, after the Great Depression. It was used by a lot of rural families, stuff like that, in the 1920s. 1920s, the language was pretty much the same language that we use today, um, but they just shortened it to be a more of a, how do you say, acronym for certain societies. Carl, but the crayons look so good. Yeah, right, the goal. So here's the thing: individual responses to these situations are as varied as the causes of it. So any situation can have multiple different scenarios that caused it to happen. Say wildfires. It could be natural, it could be man-made, it could be just completely out of hand situation. Pretty much like Phoenix resurrections of forests, stuff like that that got out of hand. Flooding, dams breaking, stuff like that. Um, that's the variables to it. So, but you know, we can prepare for these practical things ahead. Um, before it actually happens. I mean, look at all the wildfires that happens in California, through the West, stuff like that. The wildfires spread quick and fast. There's going to be a time and a period where we are not going to be able to put out those fires. We're not going to be able to handle that situation much longer, unless we because using purified drinking water in desert-like states is a waste of resources for places that cannot re regenerate water. Right, Spooky. Right. And you're there, so you can vouch for it. I mean, not only does California and a lot of the West states and everything have to worry about forest fires, they have to worry about earthquakes. They have to worry about power outages. I mean, you're thinking a single state, almost the same population as the whole entire continent of Japan. All right. There we go. Right. Right, Spooky. You take care, Nicole. Love you, sis. Go get some sleep. So, but the way we know, Spooky, like you living in California and everything, you know around the time periods that forest fires start, how far away they are, how close they're going to get, and how fast it is. Something like an earthquake, you technically cannot predict. You cannot track. You cannot protect yourself from something like an earthquake. Right. Well, here's the thing. In doing that stuff, I mean, don't worry. I mean, California is on an active fault line, yes, but the most dangerous fault line in America runs from South Carolina all the way through to Louisiana. And if that fault line ever gets activated, which there has been there has been studies and there has been radar activity of it being triggered more often in the past 10 years than it has ever before in the last 100 years. Correct, Spooky. So that literally will take out almost 7 states, the most active and most dangerous fault line. It literally will destroy the whole entire southern part of the United States. The fault line in California may affect only the west coast and down into the northern part of Mexico. But when something like that happens, that is a catastrophic event. That is, no matter what you do, no matter what you prepare for or how you prepare, you are not coming out of it. It is completely catastrophic. That's another thing, Carl. I mean, that's just like Dante's Peak. You know, the eruptions and everything that are supposed to happen, supposed to create a new dust cloud to put the world back into another ice age, stuff like that. We keep on our toes about, but knowing when that will happen is like trying to find a needle in a haystack to those things. Yes, sir, country boy. Yeah, we will go about natural stuff here a little bit, okay? But the things the practical things that we need to prepare ahead of time is stuff that we know that will happen, like the riots that went on, stuff like that. If you knew the riots were coming towards your area and stuff, you knew how long it would take before they would get there. So in that time period, you could have, I mean, people could have emptied out their stores instead of just leaving it there. They could have moved from their houses, moved their stuff to a storage shed, something like that, to be able to keep their stuff from being raided. Because you are only one person. Most people have a family. Most people have a wife, a child, somebody dear to them, an older relative or something that they're taking care of. In times like that, in times of those situations, you need to know when to get out of that situation, because you are protecting more than yourself in these situations. Um, and you also need a very, very high amount of time to get ready to literally, quote unquote, I hate using the term, but bug out of that scenario, bug out of that hopeless cause. I mean, because if you sit there, yeah, Carl, yeah. And see, that's the stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry. It's hot in Texas. But all right. So, you need to get ready. You need to prepare and get ready before these situations arise. You truly need to learn. I'm tired of people saying, oh, fake news and all this stuff. Well, you know what? Everything is considered fake news anymore. I mean, there is nothing that you can truly understand, except, I mean, even the meteorologists get things wrong, you know, but they have a better mindset and a better way of tracking this stuff than we do, living day to day. I mean, it's not like it was 300 years ago where they had to look up at the sky and say, oh, my bones are hurting. It must be pouring down rain today, you know? Um, so let's go into the natural disaster stuff, like what we were talking about. Okay. So, natural disasters. When natural disasters truly hit, do you know that one natural disaster, the let's say the recent wildfires in California that happened last year, that affected about 90,000 people, and it affects 90,000 other people outside of the community, outside of in the outside counties. And with all these consequences and everything, over an it affects another 160 million people, with relief aids, funding, taking away from natural resources to stop this stuff. So that it trickles downhill. Everything that is used, everything that is needed affects something else in the whole scheme of things. It's like Katrina. Okay, when Katrina hit, it affected the whole entire Baton Rouge area. Okay, most people in Louisiana moved out of Louisiana into the sister states around. That put more mouths to feed on other states that used a lot of FEMA's resources to put these people into homes, into camps, into wherever to survive. Okay, and that's not talking about the other states that were surrounding Louisiana that took in these quote unquote refugees. Look at what the war is doing right now. It is not only affecting Russians, it's not only affecting Poland, it's not only affecting the Ukraine, it is affecting everybody else that's in this with them. All these other states are these countries are trying to help this war that has broke out. That is straining on resources, especially resources in countries that are already going through distribution problems, that's already going through production problems. Us sending food or resources or anything else to other countries away from our country or your country or whatever, it affects the whole globe. It affects everybody. And there's not enough backup resources or anything to handle that. On to the next page. So we talked about wildfires. We talked about earthquakes, tornadoes, and floods. Tornadoes and floods affect all of the Midwest every year. Hurricanes affect the southern states every year. Floods happen everywhere. It's predictive to everybody else, but not to us, Carl. You know? What's up, Oz, brother? It's all good. You take care of yourself, brother. Take care of yourself, Oz. Thank you for stopping in. God bless you too, brother. But floods here in the Midwest, 7 years ago, the Midwest flooded out all the way down to Texas. It took out over 100,000 farms, took out 100,000 livestock farms. It ruined everybody's lives. It put a huge hamper on meat prices, on everything, because we were dependent on these animals and these farms to produce for the majority of the country. We were still trying to recuperate from the flooding that happened in the Midwest 7 years ago. And look what's happening now. We have not caught up from any of that travesty, and we're still trying to feed everybody every day, every hour of the day with fast food, with grocery stores, everything. This is all connected and it will all break in a chain. So when any of this stuff actually happens, because it's easier to send cash than it is resources, Carl. People feel better being able to send 30 cents a day to Africa to help people eat than putting a sandwich in a Ziploc bag and sending it over, because taking 30 cents out of their pocket is no big deal to them in their small mindset. They think it's 30 cents. They don't consider it adding up every month. But when any of these things happen, all right, any of these natural disasters or anything, there is no safe place. There is no overstocking. I mean, you can't have it. You can't have a castle, and you can't have prepping going through natural disasters. You can't, because everything is stuck in one place. Um, these events either destroy your stock, your gardens, your livestock, and you can't regain that. I mean, you may be able to pull some stock out of the rubble, if a tornado comes and crashes through your houses and everything. But the majority of your stocks and everything are going to be destroyed. I mean, you may be able to scavenge some things, but if flooding comes, and your whole entire stockade, your whole entire preps are in the basement of your house and it floods, you are going to have to wait until that flooding recedes to even make it down there to get what you need. It's like the people that were preppers in Louisiana when Katrina hit. They couldn't get to their stocks or anything. People will say, oh, just swim down there and get what you need. There's some things that you cannot just swim down and go get. Like the people in Katrina. There was 3 or 4 preppers that said that they could not swim down to their preps because there was alligators, there was gar, there was other like snapping turtles that was in that water that they could not get by to get to their stocks. So you not only have to fight nature, you have to fight nature on all fronts when it comes to this stuff. But that's why I say, if you knew this is going to happen, if you knew ahead of time that a huge storm like this is going to come out, you know, you could move that stuff to a safer location, a safer place. But none of these people did that. None of these people, they thought it was just going to be another hurricane. They thought we could just ride it out and be safe. But prepping is about protecting yourself and your family. Doing all this stuff is about protecting your family. So don't act like a fool and be like the people in Florida that sit out and handle every hurricane that comes out and gets drunk and has a party during it. Don't be like the people in Katrina and sit it out and then say, oh, I'm prepared, I've got food and everything. Then your whole entire prep area is completely flooded out. No fresh drinking water, no food, no nothing. You're sitting on the roof of your house because you can't do anything. Oh yeah. I mean, that's a thing that's always going to happen, Carl. There is always going to be fear mongering. Fear mongering will never stop. They will blow one small thing out of water, out of proportions, but it's you, the individual, that has to learn, have to figure these things out yourself. It's or you can be one of the people that fear everything that they say, and then when push comes to shove, you actually are safe because you took the right things, major stockpile, major preps, all this stuff. Well, yeah, I mean, but that's the thing though. There's only a handful of people that are rich, that can afford this stuff with a blink of their eye. 99% of the people, just like 99% of the people that were in Katrina, that were suffering on their roofs, surrounded by water and everything, were people that did not have the money, that did not have a way. They didn't even have a car to drive to get to safety. They had to hold on to their house, you know? The majority of the people that are going to get affected by this stuff are the poor, are the people in the projects, in Section 8 housing, in, and a lot of them are going to be disabled people also that cannot get out. You know, there's only a handful of people that won't ever have to worry about this stuff. Sorry, I'm gonna have to drive and everything, but we'll continue on. I'll we'll discuss about what I just talked about, but I have to drive. I have to go get my coffee too. Um, but then we'll continue on with this. I've got like 8 pages of this stuff that I can make into different live streams if I want to. Oh, I'm still here. I'm still here, Carl. I'm still here. I always talk to y'all while I'm driving, but I can't look at my notes and everything that I've made to continue on discussing on other topics on this. So we'll continue talking about the stuff that I've already went over. But yeah, I mean, the majority of this stuff with natural disasters and everything is the poor, you know, the poor, the people on disability, the people that are disabled, you know, when when like Katrina hit, okay, they worried about everybody else that was in the hospitals, getting them out. A lot of resources went to getting out people in nursing homes, getting people out of hospitals, you know, taking them to a safe place. But in a true shtf situation, that stuff isn't going to be able to happen, you know. There will be a handful of people that do have a good heart. There will be people that will put their life down to help other people, but if something major or catastrophic truly does happen, the government, even local governments, stuff, even the major government, the presidents and all this stuff, They are not going to allow 200 plus people that have medical problems be taken into camps. You know, if the whole entire grid system fails, there's not going to be enough free medicine or anything to take care of these people that will not be able to return anything to the government. Hey, Misty. All right, take care, flock. Get some sleep, sis. But that's just the way it is. If a catastrophic event happens, the people that are in hospitals, that are bedridden, people in nursing homes, they are dead. They are literally going to be dead. There is no saving grace for these people. I mean, what's a 90-year-old person going to do for society when they're on on need of oxygen, need of a wheelchair, need of 150 different medications for seizures or any of this stuff? No. In that kind of catastrophic event where the grid is literally gone, those people are going to be dead. There is no rescuing them. The same thing with anybody else that has to rely on a constant medical source. Like me, I constantly need insulin. No, no medical or no military or anything is going to take me in, because there is not enough insulin to run to take care of every single type 1 diabetic. They're not. Love you too, Flock, sis. Go get some rest. You have to realize this. You have to realize that there's not going to be any humanity for people with health problems in a shit hit the fan moment. And the less people that they had to spend and put medication on or give medication to, the better. It's for them to save their resources for people that truly need it. I mean, if I was a engineer, or if I was something that was helpful to the cause to help rebuild civilization, they would probably keep me around. Yes. But being just an average security guard, no. They're like, tough luck. We're not taking you in. Right, Carl. Right, brother. You know, there's nobody talks about this stuff. And it's because half of the survival people, half of these YouTube preppers and everything, 90% of them have medical problems. So they don't want to talk on this. They don't want to acknowledge that this is how the world's going to be, because it's like they're contradicting themselves. I'm not contradicting myself. I've told y'all straight up that nobody would save my ass in SHTF. That's why I have to stock up on all my medication and everything. And I told y'all, if shit hit the fan, if shit hit the fan, I would be alive for 2 years, if that, because there's nothing worse than having your organs shutting down on you and constantly be in pain over and over and over again. I wouldn't put that on I wouldn't put that on Miss Star. I wouldn't put it on anybody else to, watch me go through that, and they have to suffer with that too. No, Misty. It doesn't matter about knowledge or anything like that in a SHTF situation. Not at the beginning, maybe 5 years or so after the collapse, when everybody has already killed each other. I would be useful in a new civilization that's being built. But at the beginning, there's too many people in the military, there's too many trainers, stuff like this, that they don't need my knowledge. There's all I mean, look at YouTube, okay? For every for like okay, on YouTube, there's my survival knowledge, but there is 1,000 plus other YouTubers that have the exact same knowledge as me. Maybe less, maybe more. But it's just like any other field, paranormal, cryptid, whatever, cooking. It doesn't matter what field there is. There is always somebody else out there that can fill your spot, especially with anything. It's and there's a lot of charlatans out there that can pretend to know this knowledge. Yeah, it's there's too many cons to me being a type 1 diabetic for them to waste resources on. And it's not like the military has a stockpile of insulin. So, and there's no way to replenish that insulin supply either, unless they literally, I mean, here's an example of insulin, okay? In Kyvek, the Novolog factory that makes insulin for the whole entire world to use, is in the Ukraine, in Kyiv. And they were worried that if Russia destroyed that Novolog factory, that there was only going to be a 2-week supply of insulin in backstock to take care of the whole entire world. 2 weeks. I mean, insulin is one of those economy resources that can't just sit around, you know? It can stay at room temperature, but it can't freeze. Like, it can't freeze, it can't get too hot, too hot, anything like that, or it will ruin it. It's like a living organism. It will die. And that's why when you go and order insulin, it's always cold packed and shipped to you. Because keeping it cold keeps it around longer. And that's the same thing with a lot of other medicines, a lot of antibiotics, a lot of, antiseptics, a lot of this stuff. It's not going to be a free range, oh, I can just go to any kind of pharmacy and get what I want and all that medicine's going to be good. No, if I was if it was the end of the world and I had no more insulin and I found one bottle of insulin that's been sitting out for 4 years and I gave myself an insulin shot, it would kill me. It would literally kill me. It would poison me. Oh yeah. But the thing is, Carl, is yeah, you take it out. I mean, you can literally extract insulin from the pancreas of a dog, but more there's more chemistry to it than just extracting it. You have to purify it for human injection, because if you secrete it from another living organism and try to inject it into yourself, your body will literally poison you, just like bad insulin. There's too much there's too much chemistry involved in extracting and producing insulin. Yes, you don't want your body rejecting it. It's just like an organ transplant. Your body, I mean, even if you have the same blood type and everything's perfect, your body can still reject an organ transplant. That's why they give you all these antibiotics and everything to help your body accept that organ. And even doing that, there's still a 25% chance of your body rejecting that organ. It's like, hold on, give me a second, I'm ordering food. Whataburger, give me one moment. I'll be right with you. No problem, brother. Yeah, give me a second. I'll continue talking. All right, I'm back. Yeah, just recently there was a heart transplant with a individual, and he was the first candidate to take a pig heart transplant. And when I mean, the surgery and everything was performed perfectly and everything, and come to find out 3 months later that that individual contracted some kind of animal disease, and now he's back in the hospital with that sickness. Oh yeah, I know they don't want to put an extended life on this stuff. They make it a small bacteria inside of it that kills it off after a year because it needs to because it's something that humans need, so they will buy it. Oh yeah, I know, Carl. Yeah, trust me, I've kept up with everything that's been going on and with curing type 1 diabetes for ever. And that's the one thing that I've always been trying to figure out is how to produce my own insulin, because in shtf I need to produce it. Oh yeah, Misty, they've extracted it from dogs, they've extracted it from sheep, from goats, even from musk ox. Oh, I know, but the first pig heart in America transplant, Carl. That's what I mean. Yeah, I know it came out saying the first ever, but I didn't mean it like that. I meant the first pig heart transplant in America. Sorry, brother. I'm not always clear on my words. Sorry. Yeah, they because we have to deal with PETA over here, Carl. You know, y'all don't. Across the water and stuff, they don't really have to deal with that much PETA. But America, it's like PETA is around every corner. But everything, nothing is the same anymore. This world, this world is a hoax. This world, if it's not one person lying about something, it's another person lying about something. It's a news media exaggerating information, and this news media not giving enough information. This world is literally fucked in more than one way. It is. I mean, if Karma Sutra was an shtf situation, we're already in the first stages of it. I mean, there is nothing there's nothing pure in this world no more. There is nothing safe in this world anymore. It's because we are running out of all resources for everything. Yeah. See, they didn't do that. They didn't do that here, brother. They literally just cut the heart out of another pig. I mean, just literally cut the heart out of a pig and put it in a human here in America. They didn't grow it in a lab. They didn't put it with his DNA or anything. Like, they just said, "Oh, okay, this pig's blood matches this human's, and we can make it work." It was simple as that. So they thought. America ain't too bright, Carl. Yeah. America isn't too bright, brother. But that's the thing. Medical, the medical aspect of America is way behind any of the other countries out there. I mean, America will put more money into guns, into war, into anything else besides medical, because they believe it's a never ending cycle. They don't want to fix people in America because there is too many people. It's the same thing with insurance. It's the same thing with anything else. I mean, brother, we have been fighting against we America has been fighting against what is it? The cells you get from the fetus, stem cells. We have been fighting stem cell research for the last 30 years. Anything dealing with any kind of cell research is looked down upon in a humanity, like a sorry, I'm getting tired, y'all. I just, ugh. Yeah, thanks, Misty. Stem cells, yeah. I mean, all of this stuff dealing with they believe stem cells is going to change the DNA structure of humans, and they believe the government's going to control them with stem cells or nanobites. Or America is stupid. America is completely stupid. Americans are stupid. I mean, look, look at the people going in riots and everything because of a vaccine for something that affected the whole entire damn world. Why do you think it's like this? Okay, Texas put everybody down on lockdown during the epidemic, right? It dropped the numbers to like 0.001%. Okay, and when they allowed people to go back and hang out with family and all this stuff and everything, there was so many people in the water and all this stuff, swimming around in gigantic public pools and overnight. Hold on, give me a second. How you doing, brother? All right. There you go. No problem. You, you got the whole bar filled, don't you? Thank you, brother. Right. Pull up. Okay. But yeah, it wasn't even like 2 weeks later that there was over 1,000 people in the hospital with the epidemic again after everybody was almost done with it. I mean, humans are dumb. Humans, I'm sorry, but I'm saying the truth. Humans are dumb. There is no cure for humans. There is no cure for stupidity in the world. And for every one person that has common sense and can understand a situation, there is 20 idiots out there that does not understand and gets pissed off because you use a word higher than cat. They just, that's why humans are easily manipulated. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. I'm getting off topic. I tried my best to not get off topic. I had all this stuff written down and everything. I go on a rant, and especially when I'm driving. But the world the world is easily manipulated. Uh, I had to for my job because I work around thousands and thousands of people. And I still got it. But the thing is, I was going to go on a thing about this. I had all these notes and everything written down about what we're discussing right now. That this literally has turned into an SHTF situation. This whole epidemic. Right, Misty? I know. One of my employees is from Africa, and if he didn't get it, they were going to deport him. Which I think nobody should hold their livelihood over this, but whatever, that's how our government is. Well, that's it's kind of different over in your part of the water, Carl, brother. Like on stuff like that. Thank you, brother. You have a good one. But the thing is like here, okay? This place is called Whataburger, right? It's a fast food joint that I just got food at because I don't want to go home and spend 6 hours cooking. But the thing with this place is they have three workers and they're supposed to be 24/7. They don't even have they none of these fast food restaurants allow anybody to literally go into the store. Like they cannot nobody can go in and order. It all has to be done through drive-through because of this epidemic, because of what's going on, because of the fear. Yeah, it's there has been more businesses and everything shut down and you know completely shut down because of this, because nobody wants to be beside anybody else. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, okay? Influenza in 1918 literally killed off 3% of the world population in 1918. And at that time, the world was not as many people as it is today. Because nobody went to go get the vaccinations for influenza until it was a mandatory thing to take it. I mean, 3% of the world, 3% of the world it killed. And influenza does not mutate like this thing does. I had it. I wouldn't wish that on my worst friend. I ain't my worst enemy. But that's another topic for another day. We will discuss long-term power loss on the next live stream. Yeah, Carl. Yeah. This is the first stage that nobody is looking at. This is the first stage of an global, well, it's considered global, but it's more localized shtf situation where businesses are shutting down. Humans cannot literally work with each other because nobody knows who is sick and who isn't sick. Fast food places are shutting down. There is no distribution because nobody's wanting to take the vaccinations. There is literally factories that are producing our food shutting down and laying off employees because of the distribution. Everything. Yes, this is going to go into a conspiracy theory, red tape from one corner to another corner, connecting it all together in an intertwining spider web. But it's true. If you have to look at it all connecting at the same time. But we'll discuss all that on the next one. I'm gonna eat. I gotta lay down. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta wake up in 6 hours and head back to work. So I love you, family. And I wanted to do the Survival Sunday like I normally do. And I love you, family. Y'all take care. And I will talk to y'all again, okay? It'll probably be next Sunday before I do another live. Hey, Nightmare Brother. Y'all take care, family. Love you. But look at every angle of everything before you start to judge, because it all does connect. And we are going into an shtf situation right now before our eyes. Just take care, everybody. I love y'all. Take care.